Hello, and welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast. I am Sarah, and I am so happy you are here with us today. This is the place where we take real-life, everyday situations and we break them down into slow, clear English so you can understand every word and build your confidence. We don't just teach you grammar rules from a textbook. We teach you how to live your life in English. And today we have a very important topic. It is a situation that makes almost everyone feel nervous. Even native speakers get sweaty hands when they have to do this. I am joined today by my co-host, Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Sarah. It is great to be back, and you are right about today's topic. It is a stressful one. You know, in our last episode, we talked about what to say when you are running late. We gave you phrases for traffic jams and forgetting your alarm. But today, we are talking about something even harder. What happens when you cannot go at all? What happens when you have to cancel a plan?
Exactly. Canceling plans is terrifying for a lot of people. I think it is because we are afraid of hurting the other person's feelings. If I have a coffee date with a friend or a meeting with a colleague, and I text them 2 hours before to say I cannot make it, I feel guilty. I feel like a bad friend. And the problem for English learners is that if you don't know the right words, you might sound rude without meaning to. You might sound like you just don't care.
That is the danger. If you send a short text that just says, "I cannot come today, see you later," that feels very cold. It feels like a rejection. In English, and especially in American and British culture, we wrap our bad news in polite words. We never just deliver the bad news directly. We have to soften it. If you are too direct, you might lose the friendship or damage your professional relationship. So today, we are going to teach you a specific technique. We call it the Reschedule Sandwich.
I love that name, the Reschedule Sandwich. It makes it sound delicious, but it is actually just a very useful tool for communication. A sandwich has 3 parts, right? You have the top bun, you have the meat or the filling in the middle, and you have the bottom bun. When you need to cancel a plan, you need to use all 3 parts. If you forget one part, the sandwich falls apart, and the conversation becomes awkward.
That is a perfect way to visualize it. So let's look at this sandwich. The top bun is the softener. This is where you prepare the person for the bad news. The meat, the middle part, is the reason. This is where you explain why you cannot go. And the bottom bun, which I think is the most important part, is the bridge. This is where you propose a new time. If you use all 3, you can cancel anything, from a date to a dentist appointment, and everyone will still be happy.
Let's dive deep into the first part, the top bun, the softener. Mark, why can't I just say, "I can't make it"? Why do I need a softener?
Well, think about how it feels to receive that message. You are excited to see your friend, you have put on your nice clothes, you are ready to go out, and then you get a text. "No, I can't come." It feels like a slap in the face. The softener is a way of showing that you care about the other person's time and feelings. It signals that bad news is coming, but it also signals that you are sad about it. The most common softener is obviously, "I am sorry," but we can do better than that.
Right. Just saying sorry can sometimes feel a bit automatic, like a robot. If you want to sound sincere, you need to add emotion. One of my favorite phrases for the top bun is, "I was really looking forward to this." Let me repeat that slowly. I was really looking forward to this. When you say that, you are telling the person, "I wanted to see you. I am not canceling because I dislike you. I am canceling because I have to."
That is a great phrase. It validates the relationship. Another very common one, which is a bit more formal but very useful, is "I hate to do this." For example, you might say, "I hate to do this so last minute, but I cannot make it." This phrase, "I hate to do this," shows that you feel a little bit of guilt. And strangely, showing that you feel guilty makes the other person feel better. It shows you have a conscience.
Yes, it is all about empathy. If you are canceling on a work colleague, you might say, "Please accept my apologies." That is very formal. But for friends, you want to sound warm. You could say, "I feel terrible, but I won't be able to make it." Using the word terrible is an exaggeration, of course. You probably do not feel terrible in a tragic way, but in social English, we use these strong emotional words to show we care. So step 1, the top bun, show you are sad to miss the event.
Exactly. So you have opened the conversation warmly. Now you have to deliver the bad news. You have to give the reason. This is the meat of the sandwich. And this is where a lot of our listeners get stuck. They ask us, how much detail should I give? If I have a stomach ache, do I tell my boss I have diarrhea? If I am fighting with my boyfriend, do I tell my friend I am having relationship drama?
Oh, that is such a good question. The answer is usually no. Please do not tell your boss you have diarrhea. In English-speaking cultures, we value a little bit of privacy, even when we are being open. There's a balance. If your excuse is too vague, people might think you are lying. But if your excuse is too detailed, it makes people uncomfortable. We have some great go-to phrases that are perfect for this. They are vague enough to be private, but specific enough to be real.
One of the best ones connects back to our episode about being late. Remember the phrase tied up? We learned that tied up means you are busy with something you cannot escape. You can use that for canceling too. You can say, I've got tied up at work. This is a perfect professional excuse. It implies that your boss or a client needs you and you have no choice. It is not your fault. You are tied up.
Another fantastic phrase for the meat of the sandwich is something has come up. Something has come up. This is the ultimate useful phrase. It means an unexpected event has happened. I am not going to tell you what it is, but it's important enough that I have to cancel our plans. You can use this for almost anything. Maybe your pipe burst in your kitchen, maybe your child is sick, maybe you just forgot you had another meeting. You just say, I'm so sorry, something has come up.
I use that one all the time. It's very polite. Now, what if you are sick? In many cultures, it is normal to describe the symptoms to prove you are sick. But in English, we often use an idiom. We say, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Under the weather. It means I'm not feeling well. I might have a cold, a headache, or just be very tired. It's a gentle way to say I'm sick without giving too many medical details.
I love that idiom, under the weather. It sounds so cozy, even though it means you feel bad. So you could combine these. You could say, I was really looking forward to our dinner, but I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. That's a perfect top bun and meat. But Mark, we are missing the most important part, the bottom bun. Why is the bottom bun so critical?
The bottom bun is the bridge. It bridges the gap between today and the future. If you just say, I'm sick, I cannot come, and then you stop talking, the conversation falls off a cliff. The other person thinks, okay, so when will I see you? Never? Are you mad at me? The bottom bun is where you propose a new time immediately. This changes the message from a cancellation to a reschedule. A cancellation is a no. A reschedule is a yes, but not now.
That is a powerful distinction. A cancellation is a no. A reschedule is a yes, but not now. So how do we build this bridge? We need to use question words. We need to put the ball back in their court, but with a suggestion. Don't just say, let's do it another time. That is too vague. It sounds like you don't really mean it. It sounds like a polite lie. You want to suggest a specific day or time.
Right. If you say, let's do it another time, I might assume you are just being polite and you actually never want to see me again. But if you say, I'm so sorry I cannot make it tonight, how does next Tuesday look? That is strong. By suggesting next Tuesday, you are proving that you still want to meet. You are doing the work of reorganizing. That takes the burden off the other person. You are the one who canceled, so you should be the one to do the work of finding a new time.
I completely agree. The rule of etiquette is, if you break the plan, you must fix the plan. Another great phrase for the bottom bun is, can we take a rain check? This is a classic American idiom, a rain check. It comes from baseball games. If it rained and the game was canceled, you got a ticket to come back another day. That ticket was a rain check. So now asking for a rain check means, can we do this exact same plan, but at a later date?
That is a great one for friends. Can I take a rain check? So let's put it all together. Let's look at the whole sandwich. Top bun, softener, meat, reason, bottom bun, bridge. Sarah, let's do a little role play. I will invite you to coffee and you have to cancel on me. But first, give me a bad cancellation. Give me a cancellation with no sandwich, just the meat.
Okay, I will be a bad friend. Ready?
Hey, Sarah, are we still on for coffee at 3 p.m.?
No, I can't go. I have a meeting.
Ouch. Wow, that actually hurt my feelings a little bit, and I knew we were acting. It was so abrupt. It felt like I was annoying you. It felt like your meeting was much more important than me, and you didn't care about my time. I probably wouldn't ask you for coffee again after that.
I know, it felt rude saying it. I didn't say sorry, I didn't suggest a new time, I just shut the door. Okay, let me try again. I am going to use the reschedule sandwich. I will use I'm so sorry for the top bun, tied up at work for the meat, and how about tomorrow for the bottom bun.
Okay, action. Hey, Sarah, are we still on for coffee at 3 p.m.?
Hey Mark, I am so sorry. I was really looking forward to catching up. Unfortunately, I have gotten tied up with a project at work and I won't be able to get away. I feel terrible. How does tomorrow morning look for you instead?
Oh, that is so much better. I feel totally fine about that. You told me you wanted to see me, you told me it was work, so I understand it's not personal. And you immediately offered tomorrow morning. I would probably reply, no worries at all, tomorrow works great. See, you saved the friendship. The sandwich works.
It really does. And notice the tone of voice too. When I delivered the sandwich, my voice was a little softer. I sounded a bit regretful. If you say the polite words but your voice sounds angry or bored, it won't work. You have to sound genuine. Mark, does this sandwich work for business too, or is it only for friends?
It absolutely works for business, but you might change the ingredients slightly. You might use slightly more formal bread, let's say. For a boss or a client, your top bun might be, please accept my apologies. Your meat might be very professional, like, a conflict has arisen in my schedule. And your bottom bun would be, could we move our meeting to Thursday at 2 p.m.? The structure is exactly the same. Soften, reason, bridge.
That phrase, a conflict has arisen, is very high level. It sounds very professional. It just means I have two things happening at the same time. It is a great way to say I am busy without saying what you are doing. I want to talk about one more specific situation. What if you are canceling but you don't really want to reschedule? What if you actually just want to say no?
Ah, the soft no. That is tricky. Sometimes we make plans, but then we realize we don't actually want to go, or we are just too busy to ever go. In that case, you use the top bun and the meat, but you leave off the bottom bun, or you make the bottom bun very vague.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Imagine someone invites you to a networking event, and you said yes, but now you want to cancel and not go again. You could say, I'm so sorry, but something has come up and I won't be able to make it tonight. Thank you so much for including me. Notice what I did there? I softened it, I gave a reason, but instead of saying, how about next week, I said, thank you for including me. This closes the conversation politely without promising a future date.
That is very useful. It protects your time. You are being polite, but you are not trapping yourself in a future commitment you don't want. But for the people you love, for your friends and your close colleagues, always use the bottom bun. Always build that bridge. It is the difference between being reliable and being flaky. Flaky is a slang word we use for people who cancel all the time and never reschedule. You do not want to be known as flaky.
No, definitely not. Being reliable is a huge part of being a good English speaker and a good friend. Before we wrap up, I want to give our listeners a little challenge, a way to practice this today. Because listening is great, but doing is better.
Yes, we always want you to put this into practice. Here is your mission for today. I want you to open your phone and look at your text messages or your WhatsApp. Scroll back and find the last time you had to say no to something, or the last time you had to cancel or change a plan. Read what you wrote. Did you use the sandwich?
Did you use a softener? Did you give a valid but polite reason? Did you build a bridge to a new time? If you didn't, don't worry. But I want you to rewrite that message in your head, or even type it out in your notes app right now. Rewrite it using the Reschedule Sandwich. Practice using the phrase, something has come up, or I was looking forward to this.
Doing this mental rewrite will help you so much. The next time you actually have to cancel, the words will be there ready for you. You won't panic. You will just take a deep breath and serve the sandwich. And speaking of being ready, if you want to be ready for every conversation in English, you should make sure you are subscribed to this channel. We have episodes covering everything from job interviews to ordering coffee.
That is right. By subscribing, you are building a daily habit of listening. And as we always say, consistency is the key to fluency. You cannot learn English in one day, but you can learn it one podcast at a time. If you click that subscribe button, you are making a commitment to your own future.
And if you enjoyed this lesson about the Reschedule Sandwich, please hit the like button. It helps us know what kind of content you find useful. We really appreciate every single like and comment. It helps our community grow.
It really does. So remember, you have the power to control your schedule. You are allowed to cancel plans. You are allowed to be sick. You are allowed to be busy. You just need the right words to do it with grace and kindness. Don't be afraid of the cancellation. Just master the sandwich.
Beautifully said, Mark. Thank you all for listening to the Everyday English podcast. We will be back very soon with another lesson to help you live your life in English. Until then, keep listening, keep practicing, and don't be afraid to speak up. Bye for now.
See you next time.